So, what exactly is Bitcoin? You've probably heard about it. Some people have made millions from it while others lost everything. But when you strip away the hype, what is Bitcoin and how does it actually work? Bitcoin is digital money, but it's way more than just something you can send online. Unlike your usual dollars, euros, or pounds, Bitcoin isn't printed by a government or controlled by a bank. It's what we call a decentralized currency, which means no single person, company, or government controls it. Instead, it runs on a massive network of computers around the world that all follow the same rules. When you send Bitcoin to someone, it doesn't go through a bank or payment processor. It goes straight from you to them. That means no one can freeze your account, block your transfer, or reverse your payment. It's just you and the other person using software. So, how do we know that people aren't just faking transactions or spending the same Bitcoin twice? That's where the blockchain comes in. The blockchain is like a huge digital notebook that records every Bitcoin transaction ever made. Every 10 minutes, a bunch of transactions are bundled together into something called a block. Once a block is verified, it's added to the chain of previous blocks. And that's what we call the blockchain. And here's the important part. Once something is recorded in the blockchain, it can't be changed. That's what makes Bitcoin so secure and trustworthy. Every transaction is locked in and verified by thousands of computers. So, how are those blocks verified and added to the blockchain? That's where miners come in. Miners are special computers on the Bitcoin network that race to solve really complex math problems. The first computer to solve the puzzle gets to add the next block, and in return, it gets rewarded a Bitcoin. This process is called proof of work. It's called that because miners have to do actual work using electricity and processing power to earn Bitcoin. And it keeps the system secure because trying to cheat would take a huge amount of computing power. Mining does two things. It keeps the blockchain accurate and releases Bitcoin back into circulation. So, why is Bitcoin worth anything at all? Why are people willing to pay thousands of dollars for a digital coin? First of all, because Bitcoin is limited. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. That number is built into the code and nobody can change it. Not governments, not companies, not even the creators. Now compare that to regular money. Dollars can be printed whenever a government wants, but Bitcoin is fixed, and that makes it more like digital gold than regular cash. Secondly, usefulness. You can use Bitcoin to send money globally, pay for certain services, or simply hold onto it as a store of value. And thirdly, trust in the system. Bitcoin is open source. That means anyone can inspect the code. And every transaction is public, verified, and recorded on the blockchain. So even though it's not backed by a country, it's backed by math, technology, and a community of users around the world who agree on how it works. But let's be real. Bitcoin isn't perfect. Firstly, it's volatile. The price of Bitcoin can swing wildly, up one day, down the next. That's exciting for traders, but it can be risky for regular investors. Secondly, if you lose your Bitcoin wallet or forget your password, your coins are gone. You're the only one who has access, and which is powerful but also a huge responsibility. Thirdly, Bitcoin faces regulatory uncertainty. Some countries embrace it, others ban it outright. And since it's still new in the grand scheme of things, rules are constantly changing. That can affect how it's used and how it's taxed. So while Bitcoin has a lot of potential, it's not something you want to jump into blindly. Always do your research and never invest more than you're willing to lose.